An intelligent diver is always alert to what's on the surface above him. My own offbeat work has made me especially sensitive. I've almost been run down by speedboats. I've had to work much too close to water skis for comfort. I've ducked the hungry jaws of a kelp harvester. And I've come close to being a pinup boy, courtesy of a grappling hook. But I never thought the day would come when a rowboat on the surface would spell out as much danger as anything that I'd ever encountered. That day was almost the finish of Mike Nelson. The whole purpose of this gadget is to take pictures of something on top from underwater without being seen.
Good. Just what I need.
Oh. It's buoyant underwater. Open it up like that, sir.
Ah, yeah. Very clever. Mike, the top gang leaders, a dozen or so in the country, are holding a secret meeting. First in over 2 years.
Oh, like that Appalachian meeting up in New York, huh?
Right. Except that the old leaders have been exposed, and the fellows at this new meeting are the new faces in the syndicates. Faces we don't even know about in many cases.
Those are the ones who want me to take pictures of, then, huh?
Right.
Oh, the meeting must be near the water.
It's right beside the water. Did you ever hear of a mobster named Louis Ermel?
Yeah, I've seen his name in the papers.
Yeah, well, Louis has a baronial estate on a private lake. It's completely secluded. They're fenced in, and all the access roads are guarded very heavily. And that's where the meeting's going to take place.
Well, assuming that I can get into that lake, what makes you think that they're going to stand still while I take pictures of them?
Well, Louis Ermel is one of these barbecue nuts. He's already ordered the meat, charcoal, all the trimmings to throw his boys a big feast out there on his terrace, which is right over the lake. Now, they're all going to be right out there.
I see. But what I don't understand is why you fellas just don't raid the joint and take them all in.
Well, we're going to do just that. But there's many a slip between plan and execution. So I figure if you can get pictures of these fellas before we arrive, then doesn't make any difference, you see, if they get away when we pile in there. We'll have plenty of evidence.
If I can get the pictures.
Right. Mike, I want to tell you something in confidence. Now, we've been trying all over the country for the last 2 years to lay our hands on the big fella, Norm Brown.
Norm Brown?
Mr. Big himself.
Hey, it'd be great if you could get a hold of him.
Yeah. But he's a slippery one. Every time we just about get our hands on him.
Maybe I could dream up a way to hold him there until you make your raid.
Man, if you could, we'd serenade you all the way down Main Street with the police department band.
Let's hope that they're not playing the funeral march.
Stuff for the barbecue.
Yeah, the guy's been here before.
Okay, you know where to drop it. Down by the edge of the lake.
The truck driver was one of Miles's men. They had gotten me into the lake. The second sack contained my scuba, my fins, my periscope camera. also had a tiny radio signaling device. The police raid would take place at exactly 5 o'clock. But if I needed help, or if Mr. Big showed up, the raiders would move in the moment that they picked up my radio signal. The periscope was fitted with a reflex-type camera with a telephoto lens. On the ground glass viewing plate, I could see everything in range. I knew there were lookouts and bodyguards all over the place, but I had been smuggled past these two. It seemed right that my first pictures should be of them. Then I turned my lens back toward the terrace to watch for the big game. Bullets were ripping into the water. I had only one thought. I had been discovered practically at the start. I had to get back in the deeper water. Then I realized that the shots were nowhere near me. I couldn't know that I wasn't the only one jolted by the shooting.
Hey, you guys! What's the matter?
Just shooting at the ducks out there.
You guys nuts? You'll have the whole place scrambling.
Oh, just for kicks?
Not with guests here. Cut it out.
Sure, Louie.
I had been scared out of 5 years' growth before I realized that I wasn't the target. But then I discovered it had been a very costly episode at that. My little radio signaling device was missing. It had fallen from my belt somewhere, and apparently it was obscured in sand. I started looking for it. My search was fruitless, and I was wasting valuable time. It was good that I took another look. Louis Yamel's guests were coming out onto the terrace. In my camera now was the hottest rogues gallery ever assembled. Everything that Miles and his crime busters had been hoping for. Then I noticed that they'd all begun looking in the same direction, toward the other end of the lake. I swung my periscope around, just in time to see a small plane coming in out of nowhere. The plane was anchored some distance away from the house. A rowboat was taking its passenger ashore. Anybody who ever read a newspaper would recognize him on sight. Mr. Big himself, the biggest prize of them all. He didn't know he was posing for some very candid camera shots. Without my radio signaling device to bring the police in immediately, I had to figure some way to keep him there till the pre-planned time for the raid. My best chance was to disable his plane. I had flown that type of plane myself. I thought I knew how to do it. Every eye was on Mr. Big. Nobody was looking toward the lake. I made my move. My objective was to cut the fuel line, if I could just get it within reach of it. The pilot was a real eager beaver, but I couldn't let him get to that plane. He fought hard, but the advantages were all mine. When I let him go, I was sure that he'd have to do a little recuperating before he could make any repairs. Now, the most sinister group of criminals in the country knew where I was. I moved into the deep water in the center of the lake, where I would be safest. But for how long?
have to figure out a way to fix it.
How long will it take?
Can't tell.
Well, get on it. I can't stay here.
What about that guy in the water?
He can't leave here alive no matter what. You put men all around here. Keep him in there.
I'll take it. Both, Spinny. Into the rowboat.
You got a machine gun?
No, but I got a carbine.
Well, you get it.
Wait till I get it.
When I saw the rowboat leave the dock, I knew it was after me. But I had to know who was in it and what their plan was. I parked the camera where I was sure that the police would dredge it up sooner or later. The pictures in it would serve their purpose, no matter what might happen to me.
Look at him. Half drowned. Well, what do we do about him now?
Joey,
Yeah?
you were the best bomber we ever had. You still know how to make one?
Sure.
There's stuff in the house. Sam will show you where it is. How long will it take you?
A big one? 20 minutes?
Go. That's how we kill fish in a lake. Knock him out with concussion. One good bomb in there and he'll come floating to the surface, belly up.
I didn't know I only had 20 minutes. I had something else, an automatic carbine. Water can disable a gun pretty quickly, and I was quite sure that for a little while longer anyway, it would still shoot. Now I might have a chance to fight back. Time was running out for me, I was sure of that. If only I could find some way to communicate with the police, who were standing by for my radio signal. I slipped into the shallowest part of the water again, trying again to find the radio. With mobsters every few feet along the shore, it was a desperate thing to do, but I had to do it. The radio device still eluded me. I gave up the search again.
What about Joey and the bomb? Where is he?
Just another few minutes, another few minutes.
Everything is just another few minutes, even my pilot.
Every instinct warned that one way or another, they would get me if I just stayed put in the lake. My one hope was to get the police started ahead of time, but they were waiting to hear from me. There was one other radio available on the plane itself. With the carbine to cover me, I might be able to get to it, provided that the gun wasn't too waterfoul to work. If it worked, I might take charge just long enough. I could be sure of one thing. If I was going to gamble on this gun, the sooner I got it out of the water, the better. Orlando Tower, emergency. Relay to state police for Mike Nelson. Move in, move in. Repeat, state police for Mike Nelson. Orlando Tower, emergency. Relay to state police. I had no way of knowing whether my call had gotten through or not, but I didn't have long to wait. Above me, I could hear a new flurry of shots, but no bullets were striking the water. Police helicopters were converging from every direction, and police cars would be coming down every road. Mr. Big and company had attended their last barbecue for a long, long time.
Hi, I'm Lloyd Bridges, inviting you to join us for another action-packed story of underwater adventure 1 week from today.